Good afternoon and welcome to the FX Daily Roundup. And we are seeing S&Ps under some pressure, as well as the euro, which look potentially like they could move higher today. We're going to move into the euro and then we'll take a look at the SPOOs. This is a concern here. I'll tell you why. You know what? Let's go and move into the SPOOs then. And I'll give you my take. I've been sharing that in the chat room. We've been talking about that. So let's take a look at the SPOOs here. And you remember not last week, earlier in the week, I was talking about how the market had to close above 31.23. If not, we're going to go lower. And we closed above 31.23. Then in Asia, they popped up. But by the end of the next day, which was the day session, we once again closed above 31.23. And you can see where we went. And I was looking for a pullback. Here's my take. We did go down there. We had some nice support there at 30.97. The market kind of bounced and it went even lower. And there was some good support at the time, which I was mentioning at the time. Right around that 30.93, I was just coming in, just darting in and out with the YM. Actually, yesterday, I deviated from my plan because I was looking for a dip. And then I kind of got, faked to go on and the market already come down. I think at the time, the YM was divergent, whatever. Anyway, I didn't stick to my initial plan. Ended up, coming in the wrong time. I ended up okay for the day, but I left a lot of money on the table by deviating from my plan. So we came down here, and the reason I'm going to mention that is because we came down here at that 30.93, we saw a nice bounce. Now, someone was mentioning, I'm not using any names or whatever like that, but they were mentioning how they thought that the market was going to go to 31.23 today and go to new all-time highs. I kind of questioned that. I was looking at the levels, volume levels and retracement. Remember, I was talking, in the chat room, I was talking about the importance of 31.17 yesterday. And we saw we opened up lower, we rallied up here. We ran out of gas right in that area. I think we made it to 31.18 in the futures, then we dipped lower. So that's why I thought if they can hold here, because they saw rally in Asia and Europe, maybe we can go and make that one push. And then I think at that point, I think the market would start to rotate lower. Not that it's exhaust or anything, it just start to rotate lower. So I question that thing. But here's the deal is, right from the get-go, I think we opened up like in the cash equity session with the futures around 31.08.5, something like that. And we just went down, 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 thinking, okay, I was mentioning in the chat room, hey, there should be some good support at 31.05. The market tried to make a hold there, and we kept moving lower. And when we got to certain levels, I came into the YM a couple of times. But one of the things that my concern was, the YM was getting to a level that, hey, we should like immediately bounce. And although it was holding and held that area, and when we turned around, we started around the SPOOs, I jumped in and caught a little bit on the upside. But the key thing that I'm trying to mention is that I'm trying to tie this into is I said, hey, look, I don't want to stick around because this technical picture doesn't look good at all. And I put it in there, I go, I don't even know where's the rally going to go to as far as levels to exit from? And sure enough, we went to new lows in the YM. Now, kind of holding here, but here's my concern is that there was a lot of volume that the person had mentioned, well, actually a lot, 600,000 that had traded between Europe and Asia. And so the point was, hey, look, they cleaned out a lot of people. We're ready to now move to new highs. And right from the get-go, we came in weaker and stayed weaker. And my concern was anybody that bought long, came in long or was already long, 31.08, 31.07, 31.05, 31.03, we're all in the red. So my take was, hey, look, these people are just going to go and try and get out on the way back up. So my take is we need to close above 31.05 today, or I think we will slide tomorrow. I posted a chart in the chat room for the YM Dow futures, and we're pretty close to a key trend line. And if we don't close above 31.05, I think tomorrow we'll sell that tomorrow, and we'll start to continue to go and probably get a decent sell-off. To me, the only way the S&P can get into a minor bull mode is we'd have to get above 31.07. Now, this is this whatever, cash, whatever, but I'm talking about the futures. But right now, like I said, there's a lot of volume right now, decent volume all the way up from 31.03 up to 5 for right now, but we'd have to get up to 31.07 to change things around. And my concern is that we're just kind of churning here and that we could end up going into Friday. Look, the administration already said there's no deal coming. They said, well, we don't think. Well, we already know that deal wasn't even coming. I've been saying that since Moses crossed the desert, that there's no deal coming. People keep falling for the same thing. And I even posted on Twitter, Trump was talking all that smack. I saw that in Reuters had put out a video of him in the what do you call it, in the office, and he's talking some smack. He's going to run tariffs higher if they don't come through. And I'm saying, and I posted on there, look, if you're close to a deal, you're not going to be talking smack. So we weren't close to a deal, and now they basically admitted that. And I've already mentioned yesterday, if you look at the levels that we are in the S&Ps over the course of the year, the phenomenal gains we've had just since October, and you're a portfolio manager, it makes sense to lock in these gains. So if we do see that slide tomorrow on the news, they'll say it's because of the China deal and because of the impeachment inquiry, blah, blah, blah. But the point is that we're so stretched here in S&Ps is that it would make sense for people to go in and start to exit. Now, that being said, we can all make the case and say, oh, it ought to be this, it ought to be that. But we're seeing it actually right now. Is like I said, we had a nice clean out yesterday, came in, saw awesome volume in Asia and Europe, rally up to 31.14 about four there in the futures. We opened at about 31.08. They're looking, okay, they pull back a little bit and they'll reassert ourselves to the upside. And man, it just lays an egg and it just down, 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 right from the get-go. So anybody who stepped in, they're all underwater. So they're looking just to get back even. So in order for us to get above 31.07, you really would have to have brand new buying. So to me, that's my line of demarcation today. Close 31.05. We don't get a close above 31.05 in the D's futures, S&Ps, then I'm looking for a sell-off tomorrow. Like I said, no predictions or nothing. I'm just looking at what I'm seeing here on the tape. And from what I look at, seems to point that way. Now, here's the reason I made such a big deal about that is because here's my concern. The euro started out the day pretty good. It looked pretty doggone good. And I'm thinking, okay, wow, the last couple of days I've been doing the analysis. I put in there, no changes, no changes, no changes. And the bias chart resistance all week long has been 1080. And we actually got above 1080 right from the get-go on Monday. But we couldn't close above that. You couldn't seal the deal. So we kind of languish, and today the bias chart support was 1058. Well, from the get-go, we start to move higher, and we're already moving higher. I'm like, whoa, unbelievable. The euro's up here. Wow, you know what? Potentially, maybe we could move into our next resistance level, which is going to be 1115. And boy, if we can get a close above 1080, we can really probably start to see a good move on Friday. Well, look, we came lower as these S&P started dipping. Here's my concern, and I was saying, to me, I'd be exiting out of any risk currencies on any kind of equity rally. Well, right now we are getting an equity rally. We're 31.04 3/4 in the S&Ps. The YM is higher. Now it's not a huge rally, but I mean we're coming off these lows, and the euro can't even pick itself up. I would have thought, okay, well if the SPUs make it up to 31.05 after being as low as what 30.94 or something like that. Pretty good fall, and we're already 10 handles off the low. And look at this. What the? You see what I'm saying? So to me, I'd have been saying, hey, look, I'd get the F out of Dodge if we made a rally up to 1076. We're 10 handles off the low in S&Ps, and we're still at the bottom in euro. And that's very, very concerning here if you're playing that. Some of the peeps were asking, hey, look, what's going on with the cable? I think it's really just about, not so much, although I did see, I think it was the Labor Party put out their manifesto or whatever, but I think it's more about the dollar buying right here that we're seeing. And we do have a resistance that still remains at 98, but this euro just remains under some kind of pressure. And like I said, I think the risk is tomorrow that we see an equity sell-off. Dollar yen, that's a head scratcher because I thought we would have already been sub 108. But that being said, if we do get that slide in equities, tomorrow, as we go into Friday, we're just churning today. Quite a few people thought we were going to get a rally. It looked like we were going to get a rally right from the get-go. So it's not a matter of whether someone predicts or not. And it's nothing about that. Like I said, I'm out of the prediction business. I lost enough money being a predictor. But I'm just going with the action and what the actions tell me. So you come down yesterday, you go sub 3,100, you clean out a lot of people, you see awesome volume, 600,000 just from Asia into Europe, okay? Before we even get into the States. So, and then we rally up to 31.14. It's like, man, you look at that, you say, hey, look, which is probably going to pare back a little bit. Maybe we'll get down to, and I thought around 3105. Maybe we'll get down to 3105, maybe a little bit lower. And then from there, we just start to move higher, okay? I didn't think we were going to make a fantastic rally, but I thought we might make it up to around 3117. This thing laid an egg right from the get-go. I'm talking about the S&Ps. So that's a big, big, big concern because, like I said, think of it this way. Blake always makes that point. You got to put yourself in the other trader's shoes. So, I mean, you come in and now, like I said, depending on where you came in right now, we're at 3105 right now, 3105 and a quarter, okay? You're either a little bit underwater, you're flat, or you're just barely a little bit up for the most part, unless you just came in and bought sub 31, okay? So what I'm saying is that, and other traders who did go and come in at 31.97 or 31.95, they've got gains and they know that the other people are stuck right now. So they're like, well, I'm gonna take some of it off. I'm not gonna let it ride all the way. And so we'll see what happens. But I'm saying is, to me, the onus is on the longs now because like I said, you know, if you came in thinking you were gonna add on and you're going to probably grab yourself a good 5, 10, maybe 12 ticks, handles, and then right from the get-go, you're down, you know, depending on when you come in, you're either down, you know, anywhere from, you know, 5 to 10 or 12 handles. Man, now you're just saying, look, I'm just trying to, you know, get my little gains here, maybe add a little bit more, and then I'm just going to get out. Well, if you end up not taking out the 3105 and you slide back down, and some of those people did take losses, it's not going to be like they're going to come in and say, I can't wait to buy on a Friday. I know that there's no China deal coming. I know all this other junk is hanging, but I don't care. I want to buy on a Friday. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you look at the price structure. But anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. Just wanted to go on and share that. Other than that, I'm not seeing a whole lot right now. We have seen the bonds come back in a bit, so we can go back to that. I like to look at the D bonds and you know, if you don't want to, I was going to mention some people is that if you don't want to, if the indices, whether you trade NAS or S&Ps or Dow futures, and you're thinking, man, these things are swinging too far, but I think we are going to go lower, whatever. Man, those these bonds, they trade just beautifully. I know people like to trade the 10-year note. I prefer to look at the bonds. To me, like they've got to get a good, clean move. They are coming into some support here, coming at 59.16 on the D bonds, and we've got some real good support coming in, volume support at 59.10. So they might dip as low as that if we can get these SPUs to push up a little bit higher. We're at 31.06, so props to the SPUs right now. But I think, like I said, you're going to see a a pause probably right around 31.07, maybe 30. We may stretch up to 31.0750. Hey, you know what? If they make it beyond there, hey, props to the bulls. You see what I'm saying? Hey, props. But like I said, to me, right now, I want to see this market prove its own self. So that's what I'm looking at. Crude is on a vengeful rally. One of the guys in the chat room, Dominic, he saw a flag, and I haven't done anything with crude lately, but he saw a flag, and it points to us making it into the 59s. So we'll see what happens. I mean, crude, even when the equities pulled back, crude still didn't want to pull back. So keep an eye on these S&Ps. I think we will see a pause around 31.07.5. If you look on the Dow futures, looks like we'd have a pretty decent little resistance coming in right there at 27.809, 27.809. And I'm not paying that much attention to the NAS. But if the NAS did jump up, value level here would come in at 82.83 on the NAS futures. Ds. Okay, that's all we have. Thanks for joining us here on the FX Daily Wrap-Up.